You're watching Weekend at Gabe's and I'm Weekend Gabe. This latest episode was brought to you by the good folks over at the Ghetto Flower. Use our code WATG for an exclusive 15% discount when visiting their site. Tell them I sent you. Now enjoy the show. Hey, broadcasting live to you and yours is Weekend Gabe, holding you down on this Tuesday night, June 14th, 2022. It is hot than hell here in the city of Chicago. Hopefully everyone is having a great day and is surviving this heat wave. We have a great show lined up for you tonight. The Indian pop princess Amira Jazira is going to be stopping by to talk about her couple new singles that she just dropped with Poppy Beats. And we're going to get into a little bit of her background as well. I'm going to be introducing a new segment, Games Eats, where I go out and on behalf of the show. And, I'm happy to do it. All right, everyone. Don't forget to follow us on these socials at Weekend Gabe, Weekend at Games, at the Real Sam Crane, and the Ghetto Flower. Speaking of Sam Crane, joining us now here on the show.
You already know what it is. I got my Ghetto Flower merch on me because it's a very special day, Gabe. It's a special day because, number one, we have a Weekend at Gabe's exclusive, and that is a brand new segment, Gabe's Eats. I'm massively excited for that one. Alongside the incredible Palestinian pop princess that is Amira Jazira. We're going to get into a lot of that. But Weekend Gabe is also a very important night because after this show, I will be heading my ass to Bourbon on Division to watch all the guys tear down the stage, including Ronnie Rage, who we have on Thursday night. You know what's going down.
Yes.
And Bodie Z, friend of the show, Bodie Z, friend of the show, Spicy Mike, friend of the show, Jay Heavy, friend of the show, DJ Scully. We're getting it all to you over at Bourbon on Division.
Damn.
So slide out. It's going to be a good night. Gabe won't be there, but I'll be there. And I'll be there in my Ghetto Flower merch because, and this is true, if you use our code WATG on the Ghetto Flower website, you can get this shirt, that lovely varsity jacket that's hanging on the wall behind me. You see the yellow, you see what's going on, and anything else. Use our code, get 15% off, knock that shipping right off the top for you, or you can head down to Fortune House Chicago and pick you up some garments in person. And that is what we got going on, baby. How are you doing today, sir?
Listen, I have a house full of sick kids home today, but I stood my ass inside. I spent maybe 2 minutes out in the weather and I couldn't breathe. So fuck all that shit. God bless anyone who had to be out there in this shit because it was awful. I can't even. I'm sure my life had weather this bad and tomorrow's gonna be equally awful. But man, just this ain't for me, man. This ain't for me.
Yeah, the overhead fan in my room here broke. So good day for it. Good day for it. So tune in, guys, as I steadily get sweatier throughout the broadcast.
Oh, well, you look like one of the Trump officials under subpoena and interrogated. Just boils of sweat coming down.
Rudy Giuliani. This, I'm entirely gray. A lot of people don't know that. This is mostly hair dye. And I started the show, I was natural brown, but as the show's gone on, 127 episodes later, entirely gray.
Exactly. All right, well, before we get into news and just a few, rest in peace to DJ 50 Grand, who is the man behind the Biggie demo that landed him in the source, which landed him in the lap of P. Diddy Combs, which then led to his extraordinary yet short career.
Which then landed him at the top of Rolling Stone's top 200 hip-hop albums. So, shout out to all of that. That all happened.
Yeah, he passed away over the weekend. So, grand, man. Featured in the Biggie documentary on Netflix. But shout out to him and rest in peace to, and also thoughts with his family during this time. All right, let's get into it. Sam, America's favorite segment.
Ladies and gentlemen, America's favorite segment. Your mom doesn't care if you ask the grocer. They certainly don't give a shit. They might say, why are you asking me these questions? I'm literally bagging your groceries. Get the fuck out of here. But there is one man who will care about this news so that you don't have to. And that man is Weekend Gabe.
All right, listen. Excuse me. Straight out some Willy Wonka shit. 2 workers at the M&M or Mars factory fell in to a tank of or dry chocolates, and they had to be saved after a few of the other workers called 911. Listen, I know I, as a child, would have loved to fall into some candy, some marshmallows, but as an adult, this is not the move. I don't want to be saved or dropped into a tank of fucking anything, let alone this. But I think
Is
it's
this
kind of
this is the Mars? This is the local Mars factory in Elmwood Park, is it not?
no, it is in Lancaster County in Pennsylvania, not too
Okay,
far
okay.
from it. Wait for it, Hershey, Pennsylvania. So,
Oh, that's a good
so
pun right there, Gabe.
exactly. So they don't really know. There's some uncertainty of how they fell into the tank, how much of chocolate they were actually. The report from the Washington Post says is about weight. So it wasn't like they were struggling like the kid and Willy Wonka chocolate factory, like this kid, which I think would have been ideal.
Augustus, you can just call it Augustus Gloop, bro. Everybody knows his name.
Is that his name? I have no idea.
It's Augustus Gloop, bro. What are you talking about? He's the dude who loves the chocolate. He loves the chocolate. You know, like.
I think this would have been way more fun if he would have been if the workers really in some liquid chocolate, but it was
Yeah, man. I mean, also hot though. You know, it could have been real third-degree burn. So I'm glad it wasn't liquid chocolate. Hilarious that it was dry chocolate, which I imagine hit you more of a thud than a splash.
Yeah, no report that suggests that they were in any immediate danger. But either way, falling into a tank has to be like scary.
Okay. Here's a question for you, Weekend Gabe. What would be you're falling into a tank of chocolate. You don't know what it is. How are you falling? Because obviously everybody knows not to belly flop, if you're falling into a pool. But, if you pencil drop, do you end up at the bottom of the tank and unable to get back due to the viscosity of the liquid? Talk us into your strategy here.
Listen, as someone who's never jumped off the high board at a swimming pool, I don't really know how I would be able to contort my body to adjust to the way in my head that I see myself. So I'm really not sure how that's going to work out. I don't think I have enough control over how my land is going
to. You're saying once gravity takes over, that's it. There's no additional Weekend Gabe input from that point.
It's like if you trip down the stairs, like you just immediately shit. Like I don't have any control. I'm just grabbing onto something. You're not like, oh, let me tuck and roll. It's like, no.
I don't know. If you were an ex-Navy SEAL, you might think, oh, let's tuck and roll.
I mean, of course, but of course, I'm an ex nothing, so I don't have these skills. But yeah, so shout out to these two two M&M workers who were from the remnants of chocolate. All right, let's keep it going. Inglewood and Chicago's finest Jennifer Hudson won the award in all of entertainment by becoming this
coveted collection of awards.
Correct.
But yes,
by becoming the 17th winner EGOT, which is an Emmy, Golden Globe, an Oscar, and a Tony, when she won for A Strange Loop, which she
sorry. To be clear, though, it's not a Golden Globe. It's an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar,
there you go. You're absolutely right. So she picked up the Tony, which completed the Square of Success.
Chicago's favorite sister. Jennifer Hudson deserves literally all the credit, man. Shout out to her.
Man, listen, I don't know think about this for a moment, right? When American Idol, I don't know if you were like even when she was on the show, but like it was just a bunch of like people who had like aspirations, dreams to become something bigger, and then to see how her career has transcended the last 20 years to being an Oscar award-winning supporting actress, to earning Grammys, to now a Tony and Emmy winner. It's quite phenomenal achievement, man. They think of the people who have won it prior to her. Rita Moreno, John Legend, Whoopi Goldberg, Mel Brooks, Audrey Hepburn, and Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Am I to understand that at least two of those are Chicagoans? Ladies and gentlemen, We might be the EGOT city. You know what I'm saying? We have more representatives on that list than your city, Columbus, Ohio. I'm looking at you.
But man, shout out to Jennifer Hudson, man. JHud.
I gotta give her one more round of applause. Go ahead, JHud. We love you out here in the city.
Did it. All right, our last bit of the night is probably the most fun news. All right, let's first start off with Britney Spears' ex-husband charging and stalking her and crashing her wedding. Wow.
Wait, hold on. Britney Spears got married again? Okay, this is one thing I should say for the show, is that as I've gotten older, everybody knows that you have to stop paying attention to certain things. You know what I mean? Some people, they let the sports go. You know, they decide, oh, I don't want to care about baseball anymore. I just want to care about scientific discoveries or whatever it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be the first to admit that the thing that has been lost from my brain is any capacity to give a shit about celebrity gossip. I had no idea Britney Spears was married before, although now that I say that, wasn't she married to K-Fed at a certain point? Is the ex-husband in question K-Fed? That's besides the point. I didn't know that she was getting married again, and nor should I know that or care about that. So there's my stance.
Jason Alexander, not the Jason Alexander, Jason Alexander she was married to, was her first husband, but her new partner is Sam Asghari. So glad to catch you up on that meaningless information. But it seems to be the season of crashing events, which leads us into the biggest crashing event that we have seen in Golden State or in San Francisco, where super fan Klay Thompson did all he could to get into the stadium the night of Game 5 in San Francisco and went into the arena. People acknowledged him as Klay. He went on the floor and took shots, practice. I mean, he did almost everything. Listen, man, is this the biggest crashing that you've ever seen?
I see, we were talking about this pre-production meeting, but I see a lot of these videos, you know, might be just a kid prints out the media pass, laminates it, and gets into the biggest fight of the year or whatever it is. I've never seen it with the NBA Finals. Certainly, we've seen it in a more, geez, look at his face. Certainly, we've seen it in a more like colloquial sense. We've seen people sitting courtside stand up and take a few shots in warm up. Things like that have happened. You know, come to the game sitting courtside dressed in full uniform, get mistaken for a player. But no, I don't think I've quite seen it to this extent. I'm surprised he wasn't in the locker room sitting at Klay's locker. People would have just assumed that was the
way. Like I just thought I saw you on the court practicing. How are you just walking in the door?
He's like, I'm speedy quick. I'm that fast.
So the owners of the Chase Stadium or whatever it's called decided to ban him for life. He cannot ever return any kind of event. Not just a Warriors game, WNBA. He can't go back. Was it worth it? Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, 100%, because, like, the Chase Center is not my number one go-to place to watch anything. Not, you know, like, Game 6 is in Boston. What's stopping this guy from going to Boston, suiting up, and putting up shots? Not much. Not much is stopping this man. So more power to this man. I'm going to give him a round of applause. Not quite the same round of applause I gave JHud, but close. Very close.
Listen, real heroes don't wear hate. Just say that.
All right. They wear fake beards, clearly.
That's news that only Gabe cares about on this 2022. And also, don't forget to head over to the Ghetto Flower, code WG for 15% off all purchases of $50 or more.
Oh.
All right. Thank you for watching the latest episode of Weekend at Games on YouTube, brought to you by the Ghetto Flower. Make sure to also click on the links in the description for more information to our guests and access to exclusive new music from the Ghetto Flower and so much more. Make sure to also like and subscribe to the show and also continue to share, support, and show love by clicking on any of the links surrounding my head. Thanks for watching.